Let's go, let's get it. Let's get it, let's go, let's get it. Let's get it, let's go, let's get it. Anyways, y'all, it's your boy Don't Win Ever out here with the first ever episode. I don't even want to tell y'all what the franchise is, but you can see the color in the back. That's kind of a hint. Rocking a little orange light in the back, and I'm gonna let it stay there until I tell her to open it up. The very first episode of the franchise, y'all. Let's get it started. You can tell I ain't got that much experience on the game. Literally only got like 7 coins. I ain't really got too much. But anyways, I kind of already started it. This first episode is gonna be kind of an overview, preview of kind of my goals for the team and what I think we should do and the best ways to move for the team. But I think, especially this being my favorite team, this is an interesting idea to do, especially now with the way the team is at this point. So anyways, let's get into it, guys. And the team I chose is my favorite baseball team of all time, the San Francisco Giants. I bleed orange and black. No, I'm just playing. But I've always liked this team since the Barry Bonds days. I don't care if he did roids or not, he still was a hell of a player. But I think this is a very pivotal point in the Giants franchise. If you look at the roster, let me go through the roster for everybody. If you look at the roster, there's a couple young talents that we can utilize and use for future, like Logan Webb, Camilo Duvall. Very good closing pitcher and starting pitcher to kind of start to build that pitching rotation around as far as the relief pitching and the starting pitching. But then other than those two guys and a few prospects, this team needs a lot of work. A lot of work. When your fourth best player is Brandon Crawford, who's pretty much a couple seasons from retirement. That man's just trying to get his bank from that contract the Giants gave him. And once that contract runs out, I would not be surprised if he retires, because I could not imagine him not being a Giant. But when that's your fourth best player, you got a problem. And obviously, anybody who watches baseball knows all about the whole Carlos Correa incident, how he wasn't able to pull him. Signed him to a big 7-year contract, I think. I'm pretty sure it was 7 years, 200-something million. Then he didn't pass his physical. So I don't blame the team for not wanting to sign a guy. You don't want to give a guy that much money, and you're scared if he's going to be healthy throughout the whole tenure. But now we're left without really much, and we made a couple of small signings in the offseason. We got Mitch Haniger, a guy who's really, really good versus lefties. Nice power ball, nice power bat. We got Sean Manaea, Ross Stripling. We got a couple solid players. Let me get my laptop. A couple solid players to kind of utilize and use around. And what makes this team even more interesting is unlike the Orioles or any other team, we don't really have a great farm system. We have a couple good players that I'm gonna show through while I go through all the positions that I can use for future. But I think the main thing for this team is building through the draft and finding a star player as a free agent. Because we're the Giants, baby. We're the Giants. We got the capital. We got the money to be able to go out and get a free agent. But this first year, I want to just see how the team does on its own, let some of these young players develop. So I think more of the goal for this first year is to kind of let it ride out, and we'll see how it goes from there. But I'm definitely thinking in the offseason, I'm looking to get a big-time free agent. We missed out on Aaron Judge and Carlos Correa this offseason, but hopefully we can get maybe this next free agency ain't the biggest like it was last offseason, but maybe we can get somebody big enough to try to build around or build a future around. But overall, it's an old team. We're definitely probably one of the oldest rosters in the league, and we need to start getting some young talent in there. We need to start getting some more people developing. So this is definitely going to be a very interesting rebuild. Because like I said, this team has the capital. We're in a very tough division, having to play teams like the Dodgers and now the Padres, as super as they've become, having to face them every year. We're going to need more talent than what we have on this roster at this moment. So this is going to be definitely a fun, interesting one, guys. Let's go through the whole entire roster, kind of get the overview for the first episode. Logan Webb, we know he's going to be the star of this franchise. Young guy, 26. Going to have to definitely pay him a couple years after arbitration ends. But he is definitely our guy. Definitely want to get those hits per nine up. I think his Ks per nine should be higher, to be honest. Even on opening day, he had 12 strikeouts against the Yankees. Like, come on, with a 59, 58 K? But nonetheless, with that A potential, that means he's going to get up there. He's going to become our ace. So that's one thing we don't have to worry about, is getting the ace for a couple of years. But the rest of the rotation, gotta go. They got 1 or 2 years max. They gotta go. Alex Cobb's a solid lefty. That's really about it. Well, Alex Wood, we got 2 Alexes. It's wild. Alex Wood's a solid lefty. Alex Cobb played solid with us last year. Yeah, Wood on a $12 million contract. Ooh. But we'll go over the budget later. That's tough. That's tough. Sean Manaea was a signing. Guy really threw a 4.96 for the Padres last year. It's kind of tough, and we're paying him $12 million for 2 years. At least we got a lefty in the lineup, I guess. And then our young star, Kyle Harrison. He's tough. It's tough. He's tough. I will say something I've noticed in MLB. If you have 3 pitches, the pitchers seem to do worse when they have only 3 pitches. I don't know what it is. But we definitely have a young lefty to kind of bring into the lineup. I'm going to try to give him a couple years, but we'll see how his development goes. I was hoping Seth Curry would have been better at this time, but he's really been struggling. Yeah, Will Bednar. Hopefully he can get up there, the B potential. I think he'll have a chance to break into the pitching rotation, probably sooner rather than later, just depending on how I want to go. If I want to go the cheaper route, he might get in there sooner, but if I feel like going heavy on getting some better pitching, because other than those 2 prospects, no one else is above a B. And you can see the ages on the rest of our MLB pitchers: 32, 35, 31, 33. That's a pretty elderly pitching rotation. And then the relief pitching doesn't get any better. We picked up Taylor Rogers. I think they picked him up closer to last year. Solid lefty, but $11 million for 3 years. Yeah, we made some interesting purchases. We went a little expensive on the pitching. And then DeScalafani, moved him down to the relief pitching role after he had a really good 2021 with us. Another one, we are just blowing money on pitchers. We're paying a bunch of average pitchers $12 million a year. It's crazy. Jacob Jonas is a solid long relief pitcher. Got a lot of lefties in the role, guys. Nothing wrong with balance. Then Tyler Rogers, man, look what they did to his rating. I think last year's game, he started off at an 81 or somewhere in the high 70s, low 80s. Now he's a 65. Dog still had a pretty good year last year. That's what's crazy. That's crazy. He actually had a pretty, even for Bray, had a pretty solid season. 3.18 ERA over almost 70 innings. That's not bad. Pretty solid whip. I'm actually interested in why these ratings. I think MLB was trying to purposely make the ratings lower to kind of make the distinction between average players to really good players wider. So I'm not mad at it, but man, he did pitch bad. 3.57 and 75 innings. That's solid. And then obviously Duvall is our closing pitcher. Catcher is also a big need that we haven't had to deal for a decade because we had Buster. But now we have Joey Bart, who's we thought he was going to be the next Buster, and we haven't seen it yet. We haven't seen a full season him put it together. These are the numbers that you're going to have: 215 average, not even above a 300 on base percentage. Slugging was solid. 11 home runs. It's nothing to just wipe off. That's pretty nice, but 112 strikeouts is also a lot too. So it's oh man. But hopefully, at worst, he can develop into a solid starter to a solid backup. That's the range I'm giving him. So Joey Bart will probably be part of the team for foreseeable future, just because he at least at the worst could be a good backup. Has a strong arm and he can hit lefties. All I got for now. and then Patrick Bailey, I was just hoping more for him. He hadn't really shown too much development lately. And then it looks like we've moved Blake Sabal to catcher, which I'm pretty sure he was playing in the outfield or first base last year. Which is like, okay, if he can develop, I ain't mad at it. That'll be interesting. We have Roberto Perez on the roster. Might as well change that now, or I think what I might do is put Joey. Let's see, can Joey? Yeah, I think I'll put Joey in the minors. Let him spend the season in the minors. Do that right here. Let y'all see some active roster moves. Yes, I want to use one of his options. He needs it. We'll bring Roberto Perez up. We're gonna pay the man $5 million. There's no need for him to be in the minors. So let's go ahead and bring him up. I'll get all the roster moves done later. I gotta fix the 40 man and everything, but definitely putting Joey in the minor leagues for now. Lamont Wade, man, I'm disappointed, dog. He was doing good last year. He was a MLB The Show. He would have some great seasons. He still is a very good hitter versus, well, not very, but he's still a pretty good hitter versus righties. He's got some solid fielding. It's nice that he can play first base. But right now, I think the main thing with this team is we need a little more contact. We have a lot of swing or miss guys. We have a lot of guys that have a lot of power but don't get great contact. And I need some more people that's going to get on base to get these guys more RBI opportunities. Because they can slug. A lot of these guys have 60, 70 plus power, but it's just the contact's not there. Contact and the vision. Now, Lamont Wade has pretty good vision and discipline. But man, this season he had 2021, had us thinking, man, dog, go do something. Then he just, I don't know what happened. We'll get together. And obviously we have Luis Toribio. Excuse any mispronunciation. Well, I don't know how to pronounce these names. We got him in the wings. I think he could be a great first baseman. Looks like he has good speed. Pretty solid defense for his ratings, especially be a 57. That's pretty good defense. And it looks like he's going to be a very good contact guy with good vision. Estrada was literally one of the few bright spots on this team last year. One of the few bright spots. So it was definitely nice having him developing. He's got his potential up to a B. Good versus lefties, good versus righties, good vision. But he's not one of those guys who's great on defense. So we're glad he plays second base and not shortstop. But he's an offense. If this was basketball, he's an offensive threat. Not much defense. He can run the base paths. He's going to get hits, but he's not going to get on base too much because he doesn't draw a lot of walks. But I'm pretty. This is going to be our leadoff guy, Wilmer. Another pretty good hitter as far as like the vision, discipline, clutch go, but just not much contact on this team. Like, this team is not going to hit for average. They also have Asan Diaz kind of sitting there at second base. He's a guy who's not the greatest hitter, but gets on base. It's just some of these signings, I'm just not sure what direction the Giants are going. That's what makes this rebuild so interesting, because now it's up to me. Because as far as the GM in real life, I'm not sure what he's doing. And some of these people, J.D. Davis, another swing and miss guy. High discipline, well, not discipline, but yeah, discipline. So he's going to get on base with the walks. Last year, the hits just weren't coming. And man, we got some bad fielders, boy. Like, it's already bad enough we don't really have the contact like that. But then we don't have the defense either. Like, if you ain't gonna have good offense, you gotta have good defense. And we ain't got any. Like, we're just a team. We're all over the place right now. Don't really have much at third base, so probably gonna look for that in the draft, because this is bad. Obviously, we got shortstop. We have Mr. Legend, Brandon Crawford. I hope Dog goes to the Hall of Fame because pretty much started watching baseball the moment his career started. So definitely would love to see him go to the Hall of Fame. Unfortunately, I don't know if he'll really make it. He definitely has the defensive stats. He has, I think, 4 Gold Gloves. And he's a 3-time World Series champion. So he has the winnings, but just now looking through his stats, other than these 2 seasons right here, he didn't really have too many great hitting seasons. But yeah, see his WAR. But he'll always be an all-time Giant in my heart, so it doesn't matter. I'm just glad that in 2021 he proved old man can still get it. Old man can still get it. It was his best hitting season by far. By far. Most home runs, most RBIs. And he did it at 34. But I think Justin Verlander really proved that age doesn't matter. Pitching under a 2 at 40, that's wild. And then our top prospect, the other guy that we're going to base this franchise off, other than Logan Webb, is Mr. Marco Luciano. I'm glad they finally got a picture for him, because looking at the blue screen, the blue image at annoying. So I'm glad they finally got a picture of him. But he looks like he's going to be a stud. Solid contact, good power, good discipline. Very good fielder right now for someone so young already. He's only 21. Got the speed. Looks like he's going to be a complete baller. A balletician on a mission. So it's going to be nice to see him develop. So it looks like a shortstop's not going to be a problem for foreseeable future, hopefully. Our best hitter, which is Jock, coming off a pretty solid season last year. 270, 353. $19 million though, man. Signed to a 1-year extension. I don't know about y'all, but more than likely I'm looking to not bring him back. Especially not for $20 million. Don't know what the Giants were thinking. He had a good season, but let's look at the rest of his seasons. Literally, this was his career high. It was with us. And we want to give that man $20 million? I don't know. I think we overplayed some players. Especially an ex-Dodger. That's messed up. I'm going to pay an ex-Dodger that much money. I'm just playing. But I like that new quirk bad ball hitter, because I'm a bad ball swinger. But our best hitter, 83 power, solid versus lefties. He's going to have to be a staple of our lineup for this season. We did pick up Michael Conforto in off-season. Solid hitter. If he can do this and do it for a whole season, we'll be in love. We'll be in love if he can do that for a whole season, hitting 322. That's all we need. Is this kind of season. 279, 384. Get on base, get some hits. That's all I need, because we do not have those guys. And then we signed him for 2 years, $18 million? Whew. I know the first thing we're going to have to do is work on this budget. So that's what I'm saying. These first couple years, we're going to have to just develop, because we have some iffy contracts. Solid player, though. I was hoping for more of him last year. He got on the MLB roster. He played for a little bit. Then they sent him right back down. He wasn't doing great. They sent him right back down. You can kind of see he literally made it into 9 games. But hopefully hopefully in this alternate reality we can develop him a little more. Maybe get him up to like a 70 something, and then put him in the lineup. That'd be nice. I think he'll be a solid player for years to come. And we don't need it, because right now we don't have, other than a couple prospects, we don't have much with this outfield. Our outfield is very aging as well. But Austin Slater, lefty masher, pretty much probably our best outfield defender as far as arm, reaction, speed. He's pretty much going to be a platoon player, just coming in versus lefties. That's pretty much going to be it. Like that, I got him on a cheap contract. He's pretty much going to be like our leadoff hitter, second in the lineup hitter versus lefties. And then obviously we're going to use Yastrzemski versus the righties. I was hoping much more from him too. After this season, I was like, okay, he picks up the average, he'll be straight. Especially when he showed in 107 games he can hit 270s. I don't know. It looked like he tried to turn more into a power hitter. I don't know. I don't know what's going on. He's an interesting one too. 'Cause I don't know what we're gonna do with him. Got 2 more years of arbitration. By the time he's done arbitration, he'll be about 34, 35. I'm not sure what we're gonna do with him yet. Hunter Bishop was another one I was hoping to develop a little bit more. But he can at least be a solid platoon outfielder if needed. Solid, good defense, good speed, solid player. Then obviously our other prospect is Luis Matos. Good speed, solid to average fielder right now. I think he'll be a very good contact, have a good little pop to his bat, and have good vision. I think he'll be like the Luis Toribio, basically, of our outfield. Good solid vision. Good solid guy, doesn't strike out too much, gets on base. And obviously, like I mentioned earlier, a big signing with Mitch Haniger. So he's going to play in the 3 spot. Hopefully he can carry us. We're pretty much going to need it. He got to replace what we wanted to get in Aaron Judge. But I mean, last full season, he hit 39 home runs. So we'll see. We got him signed for 3 years. I don't know why we're just chasing all these old people. Obviously, real life is not like this game, so people's ratings don't drop as they get 35, 36. So it's kind of understandable, but it's just, I think we should have tried to do better with drafting in the farm system. That's what we're going to try to do in this rebuild. Then Luis Gonzalez, I like him. He had a really good season last year. I think he can improve on that. 27. I think he'll be a bridge player / starter. I think he can either be that player I can put in for Matos and Ramos to develop while I keep them in the minor leagues, or he turn into a starter. He has pretty good potential with B, so he'll probably get up to the 70s, 80s in a couple years. By the time he reaches 30, he probably has his full potential, which he'll still be in arbitration. So we got some potential with him. You know, good clutch rating, good versus righties, and he's really good on the fielding side. So I'll take it. And that's the team, y'all. I mean, we got a lot of work. Now take a look at the budget. Yes, man, these contracts. Whew. So next year we're looking to have a lot of money. So that's why I was saying I'm gonna be able to spend in free agency, because we're gonna have over 90 million less than what we have right now. Because boy, Jock, that's expensive. Conforto, that's expensive. Crawford, he's a Giants legend, so I can't get mad about that. Mitch was a pretty solid contract, so I can't get mad at that either. That's a pretty solid contract. That's not bad at all. So we can live with that. Sean Manea, we'll see how he does. Hopefully, is this a team option? Sure is it. Alex Wood, more than likely not bringing back, just being honest. But we'll see. We'll see. We don't have much players to spend on. A lot of players, it's like we could afford to go hefty on some of these players, because a lot of our young players we don't have to spend much money on. So not too bad, but it's gonna be a tough rebuild. That's for sure. That's for sure. Especially since we're 23rd, 25th in contact, 14th power, 20th in pitching, and last in defense and speed. That's tough to be last in defense and speed. The only thing that we're average at is power. That's not good. That's not good. Anyway, let me get this 40-man. Let me see what they got on here. Don't know who this is, but we definitely gonna take him off this. I'm gonna add Roberto Perez to the 40-man. Get him on the roster. Like I said, let Joey develop for a little bit. See how we gonna adjust this lineup. Put Perez down at the bottom. As much as I like Brandon Crawford, do I really want him? Yeah, I guess I'll leave him at the 5th spot. Oh, whew, I mean, this team is just. Whew, this team is tough to look at. We do not have much. We don't have much to work with.
You live in life, then that's a blessing. Show her love, she holds you. Shining anywhere I step in. I get then get to pressing. From Forest Bank to Ainley from here.
Guess we'll leave Jock at the 3. I don't know if I'd rather have. Yeah, we'll leave Jock at the 3. I'm debating if I want JD Davis right here. Being such a high strikeout guy kind of worries me. At the 2 spot. I think I'm going to move them for now. I'm going to try Conforto at the 2 and let JD Davis be more at the bottom. Because at the 2 spot, I'd rather have a guy who gets on base, if anything. To set up Jock and other players. I don't know, JD Davis is really good at getting on base. But his clutch rating is also terrible. We'll try Conforto right there and see what he does. Then versus lefties, I like it. Perez is a lot better versus lefties. So. Oh, he's actually really good at bunting. But somehow doesn't have, oh, I guess they took away the bunt quirk, I guess. You have 99 bunt, you think you would have it. Really good fielding. Ooh, I like it. Really good fielding. And we're still 30th in defense. Think about that. We're still 30th in defense. Right in fifth. Yeah. Definitely can't have Wade versus lefties. He hits terrible versus lefties. All right, I gotta figure out how to move this because this can't work. He is terrible versus lefties. Let's see. I gotta find a way to move this around. Man, it's wild. All right, we're about to put. Let's try that. Oof. Oh no. Oof. I guess we'll put Brandon at third because I need somebody with this field and a decent arm to play third. Like having a 44 arm at third, oof, that's bad. Yeah, we'll just leave him show up, man. This team. Oh, he can play third base. He ain't much better. We'll leave him at first. And then I think we'll put Conforto there. We're gonna pay a man $18 million. You gonna be in the lineup every day. I'm sorry. We paying you $18 million. You starting every day. I fucks with it. All right, that's gonna be the lineup, guys, and then the pitching rotation, which is also very tough. I'm just hoping that the bullpen doesn't get massacred and my 2 young players, Duvall and Logan Webb, develop. That's really all I can hope for. Alright guys, that's going to be the first video, episode 1 of the series. Just want to go through an overview, kind of get you guys knowing what's the direction for the franchise. Oh look, we moved up 27th and 12th in power. Hey, improving already. But anyway guys, it's your boy Don't Win Ever, logging out this thing. As always, peace, love, and blessings.